Gravel has a word for the referee, Brady Fagan, checking in on Brett Freedy just to make sure that he's okay. Disrupted draw, so we'll have to hold on to the clock for a second. Dylan Hudon to take this draw against Andrew Bruder. Dan and Forrester and Allenson and DeYoung. The fivesome for the Griffins this time around. Anthony Alapo off the one draw. Slingshots the puck down the ice, and Allenson will have to play fetch. Hands this off for Tristan DeYoung. Getting up and going is Hudon. Hands this off for Nolan Dan. Interference penalty coming. The shot hits the post. Allenson, DeYoung, or at least Dan. Allenson. DeYoung down low for Dan. Delayed penalty still coming. Griffins with a 6-on-4 temporary advantage. Dan, DeYoung scores! Tristan DeYoung! The Griffins score on the power play. And we'll have another full 2 minutes to work with. Alapo will replace Power in the cage. Griffins with puck movement, finding another open player. And Tristan DeYoung, and he's got his second of the year. Goal at 8:50. So here's what will happen. The Alapo penalty will now take over for a full 2 minutes as the penalized player in Power will come back out on the ice. Clock finally rolls here in the arena. A drop pass for Jacob Winterton. He'll gain the line, fling this in. DeGursey can't keep this in. A second power play goal will inject a lot more energy into this arena on the 8th annual Aggies Night presented by Syngenta Canada. Tristan DeYoung from Nolan Dan is the scoring play. Franco Scorriero corkscrews himself into the ice. Wickware will leave this off for a teammate. Bignall in his skates. Shirk forces him back. And now he just runs right over high truck and Franco Scorriero, who doesn't know where he is. Anthony Tabak. Jacob Winterton. There's a shot and a fantastic save. Throwback. Rebound scores! It's Anthony Tabak who scores again! And you know the Western Mustangs will not like that after crossing the crease. Fourth of the year for Tabak, and the Griffins have tied the game with 2 power play goals. 9:54, so 1 minute and 4 seconds after. Referees will now talk this over to see. I believe it is Droback who actually leaves the crease first, and we'll add a point to center ice in a tie game. Well, how quickly a game turns as Anthony Tabak scores in a 3rd straight game, his 7th career goal in 5 against the Western Mustangs. There you see the jam play. Puck pops free for Anthony Tabak. Clark Senior is going to have a conversation. And I think what you're going to hear from Connor Davis is the goaltender Droback came out first, trying to get to that puck. It popped free before it got to Anthony Tabak. And Tabak finds the back of the net. And just like that at the 9:54 mark, goals come, two power play goals come 15 or a minute, 4 seconds apart. Center ice face-off. We're back tied at 2. Halfway through the contest, halfway through the period, Geoffrey Brandow with you. You're watching Griffins as part of OUA TV. Nathan Allenson. Doyle around Van Imp. Turned over. This is Gio Biondi. Biondi lost the handle. DeGursey will get the 1 assist. Winterton, or at least DeSimone through his skates. DeYoung slings that towards the goal. Slapped off the wall by Gravel. A short side shot by Biondi. Willits counterattacks, and there's going to be a penalty coming up against the Griffins. Santerre leads a rush. Powers back on side. Drilled a shot wide as Santerre in there. And now Bignell, and now we've got a whole bunch of mess going on. So Gio Biondi will be called here for the first penalty. I believe Bignell will be called here for a second penalty. All these come at the 10:54 mark of the frame. And now the Mustangs have a chance. You see Willits, he comes in wearing a full face mask, so he may be injured previously coming into the game. So now the referees will discuss. So here's the first penalty coming up to Gio Biondi that looked like a good hit, perhaps a little bit short of where the boards were. So that's probably going to be a boarding call. And Bignell wants his stick back. At least I think he wants his stick back. Josh Dixon now wants a word as you see the roughing penalty here to Bignell. So now the Western Mustangs have an opportunity with a full 5-on-3 power play. Trying to figure out what players need to be on the ice. Talking with the guys beforehand, the coaches, Dave Leger mentioned that his father was an Aggie from 1947 to 1951, bit of a homecoming. Now for Leger, who's been literally all around the world in his travels. So boarding and roughing are those penalty calls. There's a shot from Gravel that is blocked by Penman. Penman, DeYoung, Griffin Wilson, the trifecta for the Griffins. Sproviero, Gravel, Sproviero back up top, switches to the ILO, back for Gravel, he'll just calm the play. Quarter of the power play is done, cross the ice, Sproviero scores! Franco Sproviero collects a 5-on-3 power play goal at the 11:31 mark. 7th goal of the campaign. Sproviero just bats that home. It's going to be a good goal. And just like the Griffins score on the power play, the Western Mustangs have done so as well, and they've still got another minute and 25 to play with. So we'll have a bit of a delay as we're trying to decide which penalty will come off the board. It'll be Gio Biondi's penalty who comes off as Bignell still stays in the sin bin. So just like last year's game where we had a whole bunch of goals in the second period, the same thing is coming as Proviero knocks that puck home. All these goals within 10 minutes of each other. Lawson Shirk has 6 from Andrew Bruder and Eric Van Imp. And then the Griffins, Tristan DeYoung from Nolan Dan at 8:50. Anthony Tabak from Nolan DeGursey at 9:54. And Franco Sproviero from Eric Van Imp at 11:31. Back underway off the center ice faceoff. Allenson fails the first time on a clearing intent and gives it to Gravel on the second opportunity. Back to the top. Here's Proviero looking for a second, and he scores again! Franco Sproviero! They are goals 19 seconds apart, and a power play which has been porous at the best of times. Have 2 and a 2-goal lead back for the Mustangs. Luke Bignell back on the bench, sitting down, feeling shame as his second penalty caused the Griffins another power play goal. Shots 20-9 with 8:10 remaining here in the second. And that silences the crowd